decided it's time to start documenting this whole journey. It's gonna be a hard one. A lot of stuff has just gone to my head lately because I don't know what's coming. I have my doctor's appointment on Tuesday. I'm really hoping that I don't have to go through much chemo because I definitely don't have big tumors. They're probably, if that, I don't know, they didn't really tell me. I honestly don't even show any symptoms, so I don't really know why I'm going through all of this.
Grand Valley State University Cancer Warrior Support Network was developed to serve GVSU faculty, staff, students, and community by providing support and resources to help make the cancer journey a bit easier to navigate.
A support group is a group of people who come together that have the commonality of a particular experience, whether it be grief or cancer or whatever that is. And they can connect with each other on that level and support one another emotionally without any judgments.
Initially, I didn't think I needed any support because I could just do it on my own, which I think probably everyone goes through that initial phase, you know, like, oh, I'm fine, I got my family, I can do this. And everyone kept telling me, you know, Ingrid, you need to go to Gilda's, it's great. I'm like, I don't want to go sit in a room with a bunch of other people with cancer. I cry all the time at home. Why do I want to go sit in front of strangers and cry about having cancer? That's stupid. And again, that was that fear, you know, that fear in me talking. And then my breast surgeon said to me, Ingrid, there's this group that just got started. It's called Young Survivors of West Michigan, and it was started by 2 young women who had breast cancer. You should go to one of their meetings. You would love them. Well, I'm not young. That's what I said to her. I'm like, well, I'm not a young survivor. I'm 41. And she's like, you're young. Go to this meeting. And that took me a couple months, and I finally emailed. So the Young Survivors group has been a huge support for me. It's like I have a whole nother family. And that family understands every single thing that my family is going through in dealing with cancer. So I think that's huge.
Chemo number 1 was yesterday, and I basically just went to the hospital, sat in a big chair. They gave me 5 bags of medicine. The first one they gave me was just this little bag, took 20 minutes. It was Kool-Aid red, and the nurse came in, she was like, that's the hair loser right there, so it wasn't my favorite one. And I can already kind of feel it settling in. I don't know, I'm kind of sluggish and achy already. Oh yeah, I had a mass right here that was growing. I could tell it was just growing in about the same spot as the big one I had. And I'm feeling it today, and it feels significantly smaller, which makes me really happy, and that means the chemo is working really well already, and I'm really hoping that that lasts and that just knock this out in a few months. Maybe I don't have to go all 6. You never know. I'll keep updating, and that's about it for now. Feel good.
2.5 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer. And it began as a lump on his neck, and went in and found out that he had cancer actually on his tonsil. And he went through intense chemo and intense radiation, was very, very ill from the radiation, had to have a feeding tube. And as a caregiver, you feel like you have to hold everybody else up. You have to be the strong one. I think to join or attend a support group is for camaraderie. Misery loves company. I mean, you do love to be able to be with other people who are going through the same situation. However, I think you have to find the right group. We attended a cancer support group at a local club here in Grand Rapids, and it was a great group. But unfortunately, in my group, as being a caregiver, all of the other caregivers were losing their spouses or their loved ones. They were all pretty much on hospice, and so a lot of them really didn't have any options available anymore, and knew that they were looking at probably dying soon. So those groups were not for us. They ended up being very depressing, and I think, caused us to lose some hope. And so a group like Cancer Warrior Support Network, I think what is so great about that is it's people coming from all different aspects of cancer and having people who have survived and are doing so well to be able to, again, show people that there's a lot of hope there.
Finally took my hair out of the braid that I had it in, and hair just kept shedding. It just kept coming out. Every time I would run my fingers through my hair, it would just pull out strands and strands. I filled up a few trash cans. So today we did it. Cut my hair short. I also got my wig today. Here's my wig. Here's my little lady that she sits on. And it's long and curly. It's really pretty. It's just awkward wearing it right now because it doesn't feel like me. It feels like I have a hat on all the time, but I got a lot of positive feedback from it that it looks good and it doesn't look fake or anything. Like, I had so much hair, it was so heavy, and now my head is just so light. I also have some like head scarves. I practiced doing like a little bow in it, like a little rose on the side. Not very good. I'll need to practice more. But yeah, I'm just kind of getting prepared for when my hair does completely fall out. Gonna have to have a little fun with that, or I'm gonna be miserable. I'll probably make myself a mohawk. Anyways, yeah. So I'm just having fun with it, I guess, as much fun as I can.
When I was first diagnosed, I talked to the dean of my college and said, when I'm done with all my treatments, I want to start a support network or a group or something on campus because I'm going to be back at work, and while there are great support networks and stuff all around Western Michigan, what if I need something and I'm at work? You know, I want there to be something for people while they're here on campus. And he said, great, how can I help you? And all during my treatments, I'm not kidding, he would check in with me and send an email and say, have you thought more about this? What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? You should contact Sue. She would know how to help get this started. I will never ever forget for the rest of my life how I felt when I got that call at work that said, Ingrid, you have cancer. And I went on to my work computer to see if there was something, and there was nothing. And I don't ever want anyone to feel that. I want this to be a place where people who are dealing with cancer have some sort of comfort zone. I think that Grand Valley prides itself on its close-knit community, serving the needs of everyone who's involved, and I feel like that we've been supported.
It's just too much stress right now. I really can't handle it. It was an intense week, very up and down. John and I broke up, among other things. I'm doing good though. My checkup for my doctor, everything was going good. There's no, like, we can't can't feel any masses in here anymore. And my blood work's good. Pretty much everything's going great, chemo-wise. I guess all my emotion just kind of poured out like a floodgate. Like, I haven't been able to be very social lately, so I started an art class at the actual cancer center, and it's me and 3 older people. It's really interesting. But it's pretty funny. Yeah, it's for an hour on Thursdays. I get a laugh out of it, and I'm happy. So, but yeah, that's about it for now.
March 7th, 2012. I went in because I had a backache, and I thought it was age. I went into the emergency room and told him I just don't feel good, sweaty, backaches, that type of stuff. And he said, well, we'll check you for a kidney stone. And when they did, they found a mass on my pancreas. One of the doctors came in and he sat down with me and He said, where it's located, your chances of survival aren't good. He said, you know, I'm not telling you to pick out a headstone, but I put my life in order. That was extremely difficult. I thought it was harsh, but to his credit, he had to say it. So he said it. That was hard. Sitting there with my kids and have somebody come in and say that was pretty difficult. As far as my kids go, I think that my son took it harder because he and I have been together. I was a single dad for 11 years, and it was just he and I. So I think that it affected my son pretty harshly. I mean, he's exactly like me. I mean, we are two peas in a pod. I mean, we were together this past weekend up at our cottage, and I was sitting on the couch and I looked, and my son's arms were folded like mine and his leg was crossed like mine, and I moved and he moved, and I thought, oh my God, we're in sync. I think that's when it hit me the hardest. You just need to talk about it and just say, you know, what's on your mind. And he said, I'm just here for you if you want to talk. That was a lot. That helped. So just communicate. Best advice. Don't hold it in, just let it go.
I just got back from celebratory dinner because we got really good news. I had my doctor's appointment today and got their test results of my PET scan, and they were incredible. Like, my tumors, the activity in them decreased by about 80 to 90%. Like, that's, words can't even describe how happy I am right now. He said to be like going into remission and all, he looks for all of the tumors to be under 2, which is crazy. I don't really know how it works, like the scale or whatever, but he said before, when I first had my first PET scan, the activity level was about a 12 in most of them, and one of them was just a 5. And now they are down to 2. Then I'll find out, you know, if I need radiation and all that. But yeah, really good news. So yeah.
One of my, I guess, most important pieces of advice for a caregiver is you are also the primary advocate for that person. When my husband was first diagnosed with cancer, the surprising thing to me was the lack of support from the medical community. We didn't get a lot of direction. You're kind of thrown into the whole chemo thing. That was his first course of treatment. And I felt like we kind of got thrown to the side. And I would say to anybody who is a caregiver, ask questions and don't be afraid to advocate for your loved one, because they're too sick to do it. And you really need to stand up for them and not be afraid to talk about their cancer diagnosis or talk about the fact that they're a caregiver. In addition to the Cancer Warrior Support Network, we'll find the resources that are needed, because we know that this is an important and life-altering event, whether, again, you are the caregiver or the patient. So just know that as a member of the Grand Valley community, whether you're a student, faculty, staff, or you know, a family or a loved one, you've got support here. You don't have to go through this alone.
Yesterday, I was just dreading chemo. I just didn't want to go. And then, I don't know, that afternoon, night, I got really depressed. Stupid reasons, just for stupid reasons. Today I've got a little more spunk. Got my flare back, so that's good. And then let's see. Today at hydration, I actually met a kid. His name's Kyle, who is 19 like me and has the same thing, only he's got a little easier. Not that it's easy. Kyle, if you're watching, it's not that easy, but he seemed pretty cool. Like, he seemed like he's gonna do very well. It's so hard that first week, and I know he's watching. You're gonna make it through, you're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be completely fine after this. But yeah, I invited him to come play the N64 with me, and I know it's so scary for him right now, but you know, I'm here for him if he needs me. It just makes me really want to do this for a living, just be there for kids and stuff, you know, because I can relate and all that. So I really want to keep up with my nursing and maybe even evolve my degree into something else. I don't know. We'll see what happens with my future, but I don't know, that kind of put me in a good mood, like being able to help someone out.
I have 3 young survivor friends, all barely 30, who already have a recurrence, and I would hear this news and I would be devastated, and I would think, how do they do it? Like, how do you go through this again? And then I get the news that my cancer has returned, and it's just so different. I don't know how to, it's hard to put into words how it is to hear it a second time. I guess I've been sort of preparing myself since my initial diagnosis that this can come back. And so I think at some level, every day you're sort of waiting to hear that news. So when you hear it, you're kind of like, oh, okay, it's happened. Now what's the plan? I told my kids this. I said, this time we're not going to push the pause button quite as much. When I went through it the first time, pretty much everything shut down, and all we did was focus on me and my treatments and getting better. And I tried to keep life as normal as possible for the kids, but I shut down a lot of stuff. I pushed that pause button a lot because I was scared. This time the pause button is going to only be minimally pushed when I have to have surgery. Obviously I'll have to push the pause button. But other than that, we're just trucking right along with all the things that we have planned. Because I don't know how much longer we get to do stuff.
Hey everyone, it is Thursday the 7th, and as you can see, I'm not wearing my wig. Yeah. I think I look hilarious, but whatever. I probably won't go out in public like this, but it was fun. Fun to do. Lately, I've had some really bad allergies, but I have no voice. I'm still recovering a little. I had mild anemia, so I had to get 2 shots of this nasty black stuff. Ugh, it was gross. So ready to be done. I'm seriously so ready just to be done. I've got all my plans figured out for next year, and got summer job lined up and all that, so I'm ready to be done and to live a normal life again.
Hope means there's always a tomorrow. Hope means that there's always something on the horizon. It's just something that you can grasp onto. If I didn't have hope, you know, I probably wouldn't have been as a good a patient as I was, I guess. I lucked out, I really did. And they hook you up to the IV and they're shooting you full of all this stuff, and you're sitting there with all these people that are lined up to go in, and you know, I look at them and I go, I'm better off. And I feel bad about that I think that, but you know, they don't want to talk to you and you don't want to talk to them. If there's family there, then they talk to the family, but we don't talk to each other that often. And I think that's sad, and that's why I like this Cancer Warrior thing that we set up. When Sue asked me to join, when she sent me the email out, it's a chance to open up and talk to people that have gone through it, are still going through it. The best thing you can do is communicate. Just talk it out, get it out in the open. I've gone to 2 meetings. I wish there were more people involved in it. but I think it's great because I want people to know that, you know, just because you had cancer or you have cancer, that talk about it. I think that to free yourself of that, I think to free yourself of anything, it's good for you. You know, it's good for the soul, or good for your mind, or whatever it is. It's just good to just get it out.
So hey everyone, it is Monday night of chemo 9. I'm really tired and I still haven't gotten my voice completely back yet. It was gone all weekend almost from allergies, so that's been fun. But I want to show people that cancer doesn't have to defeat you. Like today, I was so tired after chemo, but I had to go to my first day of work and I had to teach kids how to play soccer for an hour. 8-year-olds, oh my goodness, they are a handful. But I said, you know what, mind over matter, I can do this. I just get some energy, I just need it for an hour, and I can go home and I can crash. And I did it, and I had a lot of fun. Tomorrow and Wednesday I won't be able to because I simply won't be able to get out of bed. But I went out there and I accomplished it, and I had fun, didn't complain. I enjoyed it. It made me feel good because I put my mind in a place where I could just forget about cancer for a while. I think I can do it. I know I can do it.
I want to be part of the Cancer Warriors Network in hopes of being able to help somebody else get through the cancer journey, and whether that be as a caregiver or as a cancer patient. If I can help somebody else, and if I can show them that cancer is not a death sentence anymore, that there is life after cancer, I think that gives a lot of hope. And that's what you need when you're going through this whole journey, is you need to have hope.
So it is June 2nd, 2011. 6 months since I first got diagnosed with cancer. And I can officially say that I am in full remission. I am cancer free, and I have never been so happy in my life. Every door is open to me. I have every opportunity. My life is so wide open now, and I can continue on like normal.
In the morning I'd look at myself in the mirror when I was shaving or whatever, and I would think, cancer. Whew. And now it's not as much. And I think part of that too is because you know, I just came off my first year checkup and everything was clear, and I just had my 3-month blood work and all the markings were negative, which is a good sign. So yeah, I think it's new normal.
So today's been rough, not gonna lie. It's not to say like I'm depressed and all that stuff. It's just, I don't know. The last thing I want is for someone going through all this, sitting in the same position I am in the future, to think that everything should be perfect with their life. Everything is not perfect right now. For the most part, I'm very happy with life. I'm happy to be back at school and back to cancer-free life. But it's hard. It's hard. I'm completely alone, almost. Not really, like I'm not completely alone, like I'm not a loner or something, but like I don't relate to people here as easily as I once did. Like, people will talk about what seems to me to be trivial things and all that, but really it's what's important to people my age, and I'm just sitting here like, I can't relate to you. Hard to bring up that I was a cancer survivor without people like giving me a weird look or something like that. So I don't know, I'm just struggling with that. I don't know, it just got me down today. It's gonna be a work in progress. It sucks. Freaking cancer sucks.
I have been cancer free for about 2 years, a little over 2 years. So I am involved in a number of activities on campus, and that's where I can really throw myself into advocating and fundraising against cancer. And that is where I really put all my passion into, and things like Cancer Warriors, just networking with others and sharing my story. Something that took a lot of getting used to was just being so alone. I mean, I knew I wasn't alone in the fight, but I knew I was physically alone. Things like Cancer Warriors, it's a really positive thing because cancer touches so many lives and it does not discriminate. And it's important to have somewhere to go to just be able to say, hey, I need help with this. Cancer has touched my life in whatever way, and I would like some help, or I would just like to talk. And I think that's an amazing thing for Grand Valley to have.